All right, y'all. So I want to come on here to talk to you a little bit about some questions that I have received, and I want to come on here and answer them. So I've had a lot of questions about, do you need a website in order to be successful in an event business and actually in the t-shirt business? Because I'm actually in both. So I want to come on here just to talk to you a little bit about having a website, especially as a beginner. So stay tuned and let's go ahead and get into the video. Hey everyone, this is Ieasha of Decor Designs by Ieasha, and welcome back. I'm not going to hold you too long, but I want to come on here and just talk a little bit about having a website. So let me just talk to you a little bit about when I first started. So when I first started my event business, which is the Decor Designs by Ieasha business right here, I started back in, I think like 2020 or 2021. Now, when I first started out, I did not have a website, but what I did have was pictures. So first of all, let me just tell you, I highly recommend that you take lots and lots of pictures. So I know a lot of times just starting out, we don't even have any work to do. Like, you ain't even got hired yet, right? So guess what you do? You do mock-ups. That's what I did. I did a lot of mock-ups, especially in tablescapes. So if you go all the way back to my first video, I was doing tablescapes. I was doing different things here at home. That was way before I was even booked. All right. So I did take pictures and videos of the mock-ups that I did here at home, because guess what? The setup is pretty much the same. You decorate here at home, that's going to be just like you decorate when you decorate for your client, okay? But one thing I just want you to know, when you're a beginner, you will continue to learn. Always remember to learn. Always remember to grow, because where you start is not where you're going to end, all right? So I just want to go ahead and talk to you a little bit about websites. So I didn't get a website. I think I may have been in business maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months before I did get a website, but I didn't get a paid website. I got a free website. So I do highly recommend that if you are a beginner, you start with a free website. Why do I recommend that you start with a free website if you're a beginner? Because it's free. You haven't gotten any money. You haven't gotten any bookings, or if you have gotten any bookings, you haven't got enough bookings in order to start paying for a website. Website prices once a month can get expensive, y'all. So I do highly recommend that you start with the free websites. So I've done my research, and I'm going to tell you some free websites. You go and check them out for yourself and see which one is best for you. All right, y'all. So the free website that I started out with when I first began was Wix, and it's Wix.com. Y'all, I love Wix. I loved it then, and I haven't been up under there. It's been a couple of years, because I had Wix for probably maybe about 2 or 3 years, and then I went to another website, and then now I'm about to start up my other website, but it's not even with Wix. It's a totally different website, but I do highly recommend a website. But I do recommend that if you're a beginner, you start with free. So let me just give you some of the free websites that you start with. And the first one is Wix, y'all. Wix, Wix.com. Now, Wix.com have some amazing templates. They did back then, and I went up under there, and y'all, they have some amazing ones even now in 2026, okay? So one thing I like about Wix is that it's a drag and drop. So what that means is that, just say for instance, you have a picture that you want to put in there. I do highly recommend that you have a photo gallery in your website. You can label it photo gallery, you can label it gallery, whatever it is that you want to label it, but make sure you have your pictures, because when your clients book you, a lot of times they want to see the work that you have already done. So I'm going to talk about that a little later in the video, but let me just finish explaining what Wix is, okay? So Wix is the drag and drop, y'all. I love the drag and drop feature, because all you have to do is take a picture, drag it, and drop it into the actual template, okay, in Wix. So I do highly recommend that you go to Wix.com, look up Wix yourself, research it, and see what you feel about it and how it will help you in your business, because Wix may or may not be for you. Another thing I recommend is that you go and do your research also on some free websites, because I'm going to be giving you a few here, but I'm sure it's a lot more out there, okay? So another one that I'm going to be telling you about is WordPress.com. Now, I've never worked with WordPress, but I heard a lot of people say they really like it. So what WordPress is more customizable. So you can go in there and customize it a little more than you can Wix, but it's good if you plan to grow long term. So if you want to stay with them long term, you can. It just depends on what you want to do. Okay. Now, one thing about WordPress, y'all, it's a slight learning curve. Okay. So if you know that you want to go ahead, you want to get it done quick, you want to get your website up and running very, very quick, then I highly recommend that you go with Wix. Now, again, Wix do have free plans available. I highly recommend, again, that you go on there and do some research yourself. Another thing about it, it do have a lot of great event portfolios. So if you're in the event business like I am, if you're an event designer, maybe you're an event planner, maybe you're a balloon stylist, whatever it may be, they do have some event templates on there that you can choose and you can customize that will fit your business. So when I say customize, then make sure that you have your brand colors together. Make sure you already have your name together. Make sure you have all of those things together so that when you create your website, you know that you have everything lined up and people know that it is you. Okay, you always want to do that. So again, WordPress.com is another one if you want to choose that. But like I said, it has a learning curve. So you go on there and you check it out for yourself and see if you like it. All right. So another one that is also have a free plan is called Card. It's CARRD. That's another website. It's a one-page site, quick and clean, perfect for beginners. All right. Great for booking links. So what booking links is, if you want your customers to come to your website, which I highly recommend to book through your website. When you have your clients book through your website, that means you're free. Just like you don't have to, they don't even have to call you. They don't have to do anything like that. They can just go to your website, see if their date is available and go ahead and book you then. Now you still can have your phone number on there if you do want your customers or your clients to call you. Or you can call them. You know, it's your business, so however you want to set that up, it's completely fine. But always make sure that you have some type of booking link on your website, or you have some type of form where they can leave the information for you to contact them. Okay. Now, another one is Google Sites. It's completely free, very basic, but gets the job done, and good for testing ideas fast. So if you don't really know what it is that you want to do, if you don't really know what website you really want to choose right now after you go and do your research, then this is for that. Okay. Just something to get you started. I highly recommend that you just get started. Don't try to be perfect. Don't try to have everything on your website right now. Just get the main thing. Like I said, the gallery, you want to make sure you have that so people can see your work. You want to make sure that you have your booking link. You want to make sure that you have any payments that your customers can pay you through the links that way. You want to make sure that you have your privacy policies in place. You want to make sure that you have your contracts in place. You want to make sure you have all of that, but you just, you don't want to take too much time on your website because you still can build. I call it building as you grow. Okay. Because you're not going to say, if you're a beginner right now, and a lot of things that you may not know, but you're going to grow as you go. Okay, you're going to grow as you go. And that's why I recommend that you continue to learn. And like I always tell the people here, as well as over when I do my on my t-shirt business, you grow as you learn, and you learn as you grow. So as you grow, then your website is going to grow, because now you're making more money. Now that you can pay for a better website, you may get to the point where even though you're making money in your business, you may still want to stay with Wix, or you still may want to stay with WordPress, or you still may want to stay with whatever website that you start with, because a lot of event professionals have been with the same website for a very long time because that's what they like. Okay. Now, I don't recommend spending a whole lot of money on your website, because let's be honest, your client is going to go to your website a lot of times to see your photo gallery, or, just to see what you do and just to, read about you. But mainly, if you have it where they can call you and book, mainly they're going to call you, because sometimes clients, you can have a website, but they're still going to call you. They still want to know what you do. They still want to ask for a portfolio, which is pretty much a gallery of pictures from your mock-ups of any events that you've done. So, it just depends on the client. Some of them will go to the website, some of them will not. That's why I don't recommend that you spend a whole lot of money on a website. But again, it's your business and it's totally up to you, and you know what you can and can't afford, okay? Like I said about the ones that I've given you 4. And like I said, go ahead and do your research to see if there's any more, okay? All right, so let's get back to talking about a website and why I feel like that you need one. So again, I feel like that you need a website because it makes your business look professional. You don't have to have just everything on your website, because like I said before, you're going to be adding new things to it anyway, because once you do more events, you're going to add more pictures. So just make sure you start with some of the pictures. Just say, for instance, you may do tablescapes. That's how I started out with my event business. I started out here on YouTube. First of all, I started out doing tablescapes. And tablescapes, that's one thing that I really love, tablescapes. So I started decorating here at home with my tablescapes. So I had a YouTube channel, which I still have, this one here, and I started out on Facebook. So I had a Facebook page and I had this page right here, but I did get a Facebook page. I had the YouTube channel first, and then I started with the Facebook page. So I do highly recommend also that you get on social media. Now, if you don't have a website, you can still use social media like Instagram, TikTok. You can post here on YouTube. You can do because YouTube have YouTube Reels now. When I started I started this channel in 2018. I remember when I first started. Now, my name was different then when I first started, but then I don't think there was no, there wasn't any YouTube Reels then, but it is now. So that's very helpful, because when you're doing your mock-up, you can do Reels when you take a video, which is pretty much Reels are short videos, and you can post them on Reels here on YouTube. People can get to know you through that. Or if you want to, you can go straight to Facebook. You can also post on Facebook. A lot of my clients found me on Facebook. A lot of my clients found me here. So if you are on TikTok, Instagram, whatever you on Pinterest, a lot of people find people over there. Just make sure you post consistently. Your consistently is how many days a week you can post, okay? Some people post every day. Some people post once a week. But I do highly recommend that you at least post once a week, especially as a beginner, because you're getting your name out there. You're getting people to know who you are. Now, if you can post more than once a week, that's fine, y'all. Make sure you're consistent is what you can do, because you want people to feel comfortable with you. You want people to get to know you. Okay, so if you don't have a website, then I highly recommend that you start out with Instagram, you start off here on YouTube, you start off with TikTok, or you start off, with some type of social media channel where you can go ahead and get your name out there and grow. Now, I do again highly recommend a website, but I don't recommend that you go out there and spend a whole lot of money. Start with the free ones, okay? Now, one thing about social media is visibility, okay? People will find you on social media, because a lot of times, especially here on YouTube, they might be looking up event designers, just say for instance in Montgomery, Alabama, event designers in Atlanta, Georgia, whatever it may be. And a lot of times, you may pop up, your business name will pop up, even on TikTok or Instagram or even Facebook. Okay, so you're gonna get the visibility. But another thing about the website is credibility plus control. Now, when I say credibility, it shows that you are a professional. At least you should be a professional when you have an event business, or actually any business, really. It shows that you have credibility because you have a website. People can go on there and see what you do, what you're doing. They can read about you, especially if you have a page that about me page. They can get more information on how to contact you. So it's like they get to know you a little better. Okay. And when I say control, you do have control over the things that you put there. You have more control over it than you do here on social media, because just say, for instance, social media shut down. Okay. So if social media shut down, then, pretty much your visibility is gone. Besides your website, people still can go back to your website and find you. I highly recommend also that you collect emails. Now, what that does is get you to collect people who are interested in giving you their email address. So what you would need with that is like a email list. So you will have control over your email list. Therefore, again, if social media shut down, then you will have your email list so that you can contact your clients or even your potential clients. All right. Because if social media shut down, you have no access to any of that. So I highly, highly recommend that you put a email sign up over on your website. All right. All right, so without a website, you can look less professional to higher paying clients. So really higher paying clients, they do really want to see more of your gallery. They want to see what you can do, what you have done. Like I said before, I call it mock-ups, where you just decorate at home. No one knows that you have to decorate at home, because you don't have to show, the walls and all that stuff, unless it's a wall that you're decorating or something like that. A lot of my mock-ups, when I first started, a lot of my work was done here at home, over on my table. Even now, I do a lot of things here. But when I do events, I also go and take pictures of my events, and I do videos. So I highly recommend that you do pictures and videos. And I do backdrop designs. So I go in my living room and I record that also. Okay. So another thing is, without a website, booking and payments can feel messy, and it will. So if you want your clients to pay you, it's always best to me for them to be able to pay you through a website, which is a booking link. A lot of times when you have a website, then you can offer different type of payment options for your clients, depending on what events you offer. Some people offer higher tiers and higher, charge more for certain designs. So therefore, you want to offer your clients like payment options if possible. You may send them an invoice where they pay you. Maybe they pay you your first payment, and then they have so many weeks to pay you the other, or you accept payments right before the event, however you do it, because it's your business. Okay. But I highly recommend that you put a booking link, and I highly recommend that you put a payment link on your website so that they can book with you and they can pay you. Okay. And you also have everything else set up there, like your contact page, your about us page. Make sure you have your contracts in order and in line, so that you can be able to send that to them, or have a page where they can go once they book with you. The page may pop up. Once they come on to see what's available, then make sure they have that contract that they sign before you actually go, of course, and do any designs or any events for them, because you want to make sure that you're protecting yourself. Okay. So make sure you have all that in place. Okay. So we're going to talk about what happens with a website. So with a website, you look legitimate. instantly. So in a lot of clients' mind, if you don't have a website, you don't look professional. If you do have a website, you look professional and legitimate. So, you know, so that's why I highly recommend that you have a website. I'm working on my website right now. It's, you know, one thing I say is just to start. You don't have to have the perfect website because you're going to eventually grow, which means you start off where you at and you're going to keep adding on because you're going to be doing different events. And if you're not doing events, you still practice at home, which doing mock-ups, tablescapes, backdrop designs, whatever it is, and you continue to add to your website, okay? And clients trust you faster if you have a website, all right? You control your brand, pricing, and bookings, and that's true. That is completely true. Social media does not control what you charge, okay? You control that. So I always say make sure you charge your worth. Make sure you know your payment system. Make sure you know exactly what payments that you're offering. Make sure that your clients pay at least a retainer fee before you start buying anything dealing with their events. And we're going to talk about that more, okay? But make sure you get your website taken care of first. Start adding more to it, such as your bookings and taking payments. You don't need a website to start because I didn't have a website when I first started. I did have my gallery. My portfolio is what I call it. It's just a gallery or portfolio of all of your pictures that you have done, even if you set up at home. You still take those pictures and videos, okay? All right, so another thing that I want to talk to you about is start before you're ready. And I know I've already hit on a few of that, but you know, most people wait for the perfect website. They wait for the perfect time. But let me tell you, there's no perfect website and there's no perfect time to start. Just because you are a beginner does not mean that you have to have a website. Like I told you before, you just take pictures of what you have and you use that. If a client calls you and want pictures of your work, then send them what you have. Just ask them what their email is and just send them what you have because you want to get started first, okay? Then you go ahead and get your website. I do highly recommend, like I said before, a free website if you just want a website. And I gave you some, I gave you 4 different ones. I gave you Wix, WordPress, Google Sites, and Card, C-A-R-R-D. Okay, so those are free. They have free plans available. With a website, a lot of people do like to see a website. It's not necessary, but it just depends a lot of times on your client. Different businesses, different, you know, of course, different websites, and different people want different things. But if you don't have a website, don't get distracted by that. If you don't have a website, just still get started, still create, still do a portfolio. And then if they come and ask you, hey, I want to see pictures of your work, then you have pictures of your work because we have iPhones, we have Android phones, the phones that you have cameras. So whichever way that you take your pictures of your mock-ups, whether you do it at home, whether if you got a venue, whatever it may be, take pictures of it. And therefore you can send the client who asks pictures from whatever you have, whether it's a phone or a camera. And if you have your website, you can say, hey, go over to my website at Ieasha.com or whatever your name is, and you can see my portfolio over there. You can see my gallery, whichever way you name it, okay? Perception is profit. A clean website can literally help you charge more. So make sure your website clean. One thing about your clients, they don't need to be sitting up there trying to figure out anything. Now, one thing I can tell you, if you get a client who really, really want to book with you, and you may have the best pictures, like you may have the best pictures, you do the best events, but if they got to try to figure out how to maneuver through your website, how to book and on your website, how to pay on your website, guess what? A lot of times they're leaving your website and you won't even get the sale because nobody have time to sit up there and be trying to maneuver through your website, try to find where the booking link at, try to find how to pay you. So just make sure that your website is clean. Make sure you choose a really great website, especially when it comes to events or whatever your business may be. Keep it simple. Your first website only needs, are you ready? Write this down. Come back to this video. So your website, when you first start out, only needs who you are. Like I told you before, it's about us page or about me page or about the owner or whatever it may be. They want to know who you are. They want to know what you offer. So what services you offer. Are you an event designer? Do you offer backdrop designs? Do you offer balloon stylings? Do you offer tablescape setups? Do you do wedding decor? Whatever it may be, let them know what you offer. Again, make sure you have your photos and videos of your work. Again, you can put that up on the photo gallery. You can name it portfolio, whatever it is that you want to name it. Make sure it's on your website. Make sure it's labeled where your client will know, hey, this is their work. Okay? The other thing is how to contact you or how to book with you. Just like I was saying before, they don't want to have to go through a maze to try to figure out how to contact you or how to book you. Because a lot of times when they come to your website, they're already ready to book with you, or they want to contact you because sometimes if you're just starting out, you want to contact you just to make sure that you are who you say you are, okay? And just to get to know you a little bit better. And they want to book with, some people may want to just come on and book with you. So you need to have all of that information there. You need to have the payment system set up so they can, use their credit cards, whatever it is that your business take. All right. Another thing too, free tools that can make you money. Don't use I don't have money as an excuse. Use platforms that cost $0. A lot of times if you're a beginner, the first thing you'll say, oh, I don't have the money to invest in a website, or I don't have the money to invest in this, I don't have the money to invest in that. Well, guess what? That's why I'm here talking to you today about free websites that will work exactly for you. Because yes, a lot of beginners do not have money to start off, because I was once you. I was a beginner. And if you're not a beginner and you don't have a website, then go ahead and get you a website. Just because you're not a beginner does not mean that you can't use free. Okay, I like free, Free. I'm sure we all do, especially if the free have a variety of things that you can do, ways that you can set up on their website, ways to make your brand look really good, ways to make your business look really good, and ways so that your client don't have to try to figure things out. They know where to book, they know how to contact you, they know about you, they know your services, they know all those things, okay? So just make sure you make it easier for yourself, and make sure you make it easier for the people who are paying you, which are called what? Customers and clients. So don't let you not have a website stop you from starting, but don't let it be the reason that you stay small either. And don't let it be the reason that your client does not book with you because they don't know how to get on your website. They don't know any information how to book or even how to pay you, because y'all, we want to do a great job and we want to get paid for the job that we do. So I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section below. Let me know what website you are using, if it's a free website or maybe you have a paid website. Also, let me know if you're a beginner in the event industry or whatever your business may be. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see y'all in my next video. Peace.